Yeah, I guess first, man, I was going to ask you, I want to get a little bit about your kind of pre-Clarkson background. I noticed you played in the same junior league for 4 years, so I was just wondering, did you kind of plan to be in juniors that long, or how did that kind of just evolve, or, you know?
I didn't really plan on it. I mean, I went as a 16-year-old, so I knew I'd be there for at least 2 years if I wanted to go to college, and then
Yeah.
had a couple offers and stuff after that, and actually almost went a year before I came here, but then decided kind of waited out a bit, and then my last year was obviously my best year, and that's when the majority of the offers started coming, and I decided to come here.
Was college all along the part of your plan? Like, did you want to play, or did you have any other ideas when you were younger? Was college always the, you know?
I always kind of wanted to go to college, but there was I was pretty close to going to the OHL one year. My first year, I almost went up there at Christmas and played with them, and then I would have been there for the next couple of years. So it was close, but I always kind of wanted to go to college.
I was curious too, like when the colleges kind of came around, who were some of the places that you looked at besides Clarkson? I mean, were there kind of finalists, so to speak? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say at the end it kind of came down to Lake Superior State, Bowling Green, Northeastern, and Clarkson were pretty much the final ones.
Yeah. What was it about this place that kind of won you over, like compared to the other ones that you were looking at?
I just kind of we were well, they were in a position of like they were on the rise kind of and had a lot of good players and kind of told me I'd have an opportunity to play right away where some of the other schools weren't quite sure. And I like the smaller town feel. It was nice being here, and obviously the whole rink and the atmosphere of games and stuff definitely helped a lot too.
I was going to ask too. How big of an adjustment that like you're from the Toronto area, if I'm right? How big an adjustment was it to kind of live in a town with 6,000 people, especially your first year here? I mean, was it kind of a little bit of a culture shock in a way, or?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's definitely a lot different, but at the same time, it's kind of nice being in a little smaller town and just kind of going through town and people kind of saying hi and good luck and stuff like that. Whereas if you're in the big city, you're not going to get that. Yeah. No matter who you are, pretty much. So it was a big adjustment, but it was definitely nice once you get used to it.
And some of the schools you were talking about, hockey's not their program. I mean, it's one of many programs. Is that a difference here too? Is that this is kind of the big sport at the school? Is that a factor at all?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were just kind of hockey was just kind of there and just part of the rest of the sports. Whereas here, it's kind of it's the big one, and that's definitely a nice feature.
I was going to say too, because obviously you playing 4 years of juniors, you kind of came in a little older than some of the people do. How did that help you? Because you had a really productive freshman year. Do you feel like you would have been as successful if you'd come in as an 18-year-old, or do you think that's something that worked to your benefit, coming in a little bit older?
I think definitely coming in a little older and just being a little bit, I mean, I'm not the biggest guy as it is, but being a little bit stronger than I was at 18 definitely helped. And then just getting the opportunity to kind of step in and play right away definitely helped a lot too.
And obviously, one thing I noticed, I asked you about this in the past, but you've had a lot of different line mates here at Clarkson. What's that kind of experience been like, and what have you learned from the different guys you've been, with?
I mean, for the first couple of years, I was always with Zaleski, and that was it was nice always being with him and knowing what to expect no matter what. And then last year bounced around a little bit, and then this year we've bounced around a bit too. So you kind of got to know what other guys' strengths are and what you get used to playing with them and where they're going to be on the ice and stuff. But it's nice playing with a good mixture of guys. Like some guys are more shooters and other guys are more passers and stuff. So you just kind of got to be aware of those things.
Do you feel like you're one of those guys that can fit in with whatever kind of player the coach wants to put you with? I mean, are you kind of adaptable in that regard?
Yeah, I think I am pretty much, but I'd say I'm definitely more of a passer than a shooter. But it can go either way, really. I guess if I have to be a shooter, then I'll try and shoot some more and stuff like that. But I think primarily I'm more of a playmaker.
Yeah, I was curious too. Like with this year, you've had a lot of the role of the scoring this year. I noticed you've had a goal or assist about 40% of the team's goals. Has there been any maybe added pressure just because there hasn't been a lot of scoring, or have you just tried to treat this like any other year? Have you noticed anything different when you're out on the ice about your role? Or
I'd say it's pretty much the same. Just some of the balances that I hadn't got in the past have gone in for me this year, and it's just kind of the way it goes. But definitely there's a little more pressure on the upperclassmen to produce a little bit here, especially down the stretch if we want to make a little run. But overall, it's just been trying to play the same games I have for the last 3 years here.
What's it been like as far as it's got to be a little bit challenging? I mean, it's maybe a little disappointing too because you come in and you have two, NCAA tournament years, first years. I mean, as a player, what's it like to kind of go from that extreme to this extreme, and have you kind of dealt with it, especially being one of the captains, because you got to try to keep everybody, ready for the next round of things here.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been tough coming from. I mean, if we lost 4 games in a row, my freshman or sophomore years, it was like the end of the world was happening. Now, yeah. I mean, we're kind of. I'm not gonna say we're used to it, but it's not. We're not panicking. We're still trying to work hard and get back on track by doing the right things instead of just panicking and not really knowing what to do. But it's definitely a big difference coming from those really successful years. This one, I mean, you kind of see how small the margin is between winning and losing in this league, and bounce here or there can really turn things around for us. So hopefully get it going down the stretch.
And not to jump in, I know you're focused on what's going on now, but obviously being a senior, what's the future hold for you hockey-wise? I'm sure I'm guessing it's something you want to be doing for a while after this. What would you kind of hope to do with the game?
I don't really know. I mean, I'd like to play for as long as I can and stuff like that. But I don't really know exactly what I want to do. I kind of play wherever wants me to play there. So see what happens.
Do you see yourself like maybe at the end of the year trying to catch on somewhere late in the season, or do you plan on waiting until next year? That's your thing. I was going to ask you about the future.
I don't really know. I think it's going to depend kind of on what my options are. But if there's a good opportunity out there to go play, I think I'd definitely like to experience it, at least gain a little bit of experience for next year.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.